Wow, look at that natural yellow Australian sky. I love the warm glow of my future going up in ashes. Hey, it's New Year's! I'm excited for the wonderful new decade. You know what else I'm excited for? The fact that there's only 10 more years till 2030. What's going to happen in 2030, I hear you ask? That's simple. By our current rate of climate change in 2030, it'll be impossible for us to reverse and not extinct ourselves. We're not going to go extinct in 2030, but then we'll just be cut off from salvation. But hey, who doesn't like deserts? My favorite desert is chocolate ice cream, and I would love for the world to become a giant desert before I turn 40 plus. What's 10 years? That's practically here already. What are the thousands of protests and youth groups against climate change? What are they even gonna do? Coca-Cola makes more pollution than any other company, seconded by Nestle and then PepsiCo. But I wouldn't take action against them. I love Coke. It's delicious. It is getting really hot in here. China and Saudi Arabia produce 14 and 4% of all pollution worldwide, respectively. Now, that's not a big number, but 4% worldwide is a very large number. To put that into perspective, Australia's landmass is only 0.33% of the whole world. It's a bad comparison because pollution in Australia are different forms of measurement. It's just to put into perspective that this giant continent is not that big. Russia, it's 17%, but it only has about 2% of the world's inhabitants. Because it's cold, I think that's where we should all move when climate change kills everyone. China and Saudi Arabia produce 18% of the world's pollution, together. But renewables, they won't get enough funding because pollution is profitable. What is a boycott even gonna do when you're less than 1,000th of a percentage of the world's population? Nothing that you or me do in our lifetime, whether it be going vegan or boycotting Coke or buying a Tesla or attending a rally, none of it will matter. What's 10 years when we couldn't do it in 20? CO2 emissions are still increasing. They are rising. We are becoming more efficient at creating a Mad Max dystopia. We are running out of helium. Fires cover 5 million hectares of the Australian continent. Ice caps are melting. Oceans are rising. 4.6 million people die of pollution every year, and millions, including politicians, some but not all, conservatives, some but not all, liberals, some but not all, and every CEO that celebrated getting a lump of coal on Christmas still deny climate change because regressing to the pre-science days is better than facing the fact that in 10 years, our future will be locked away from us. Humanity can't change in 10 years. We couldn't change in 30. We've known about it since the 90s. Why haven't we changed? So, what's 10 gonna be? Why bother? Don't bother boycotting anything. I'm going to enjoy my Coca-Cola while it lasts. No boycott matters, no striking or unionizing against coal and gas and CO2 emissions will save us. No amount of how dare you is going to decrease CO2 emissions in time. I'm going to finish high school and university with only 4 years left before climate change is irreversible. There's not going to be a how dare you. But here's a good old boomer participation trophy for screwing over my future. So from creator to viewer, I want you to know that if we're on opposite sides of the climate change resource wars, you have full permission to kill me. The people that caused this won't be fighting in said war. I want you to have a happy new year, a Merry Christmas, and enjoy the last decade before our civilization is destroyed.